What's going on, everyone? So LeBron James made his debut, and the Los Angeles Lakers got the W. And LeBron James put on just an absolute masterclass. It was just so beautiful to watch with the way he was able to just pick Utah apart, and he didn't even have to score the basketball. It was all just making plays and reads and all that stuff. And we saw the starters were Luka, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, LeBron James, and DeAndre Ayton, right? Don't really like Rui in the starting unit. If it's something where, hey, we just wanted familiarity around LeBron. It's his first game back. Want to kind of, just go with what we know and kind of figure out who's the guy that kind of rises to the top as the starter. You saw Jake LaRavia play really well off of LeBron and all that stuff. Okay, perfect. No problems. I can get on board with that. Or if it's something like, hey, we're probably going to trade Rui Hachimura at some point, so we need to keep his value high. And it's like, hey, we're not going to be able to integrate that starting three regardless until we trade for him. So might as well keep Rui out there, keep the familiarity, all that stuff. Then fine. Again, I can buy on board with that. But you need to kind of get off of Rui in the starting unit. If it's something where he's not committed and he's like, no, I have to start, or they're worried about him checked out or something, then you got to trade him. You really do. But another guy that, look, if you're not going to play him, you might as well trade him, is Jarred Vanderbilt. I love Vando. I think Vando is one of those players that are lower on my totem pole as far as like guys that I would trade. You kind of go down the call sheet of like, what guys are you going to get off of if a trade presents itself? I'm not one of those people that think like people are untradeable. I don't think there's only like 3 guys in the league that are truly untradeable. So to me, it's just, again, it's finding that right trade, right? You're not just trading Jarred Vanderbilt just to trade Jarred Vanderbilt, right? You're not just going to get off of Vando just to get off of Vando. It has to make sense. It has to be justified. And in particular, you have to go get a wing, right? And ideally 2. Like the 2 things that I want to see the Lakers get most, especially if Jackson Hayes continues to play the way he's been playing, is I want a higher tier, clear-cut starting 3. And Andrew Wiggins, a Herb Jones, a Miles Bridges, whomever, right? And then can we get kind of that next tier guy? Can you get like a Matisse Thybulle, a Haywood Highsmith, a Baji, Keon Ellis, somebody like that? Can you get those 2 things? If you can get those 2 things, 1, I think the Lakers could end up being one of the best teams, if not the best team in all of basketball. 2, I think now you can stomach trading Jarred Vanderbilt. The problem is Lakers really already lack athleticism and defense, particularly out on the perimeter. And if you just, let's say you trade for an Andrew Wiggins, but you get off of Jarred Vanderbilt, you still have that deficiency outside of Andrew Wiggins, unless, an Adu Thero really steps up and is that piece for you. But, do you really want to put all that pressure on a rookie, even if he is great? The kid's shooting 100% from the field so far, right? But no, the guy's been very good in the limited minutes that we've seen him in, but do you want to put that much pressure on a young man? Do you come playoff time? Do you want to count on him? I think you need to kind of figure some stuff out. Now, look, you're not going to be able to play every player every night. You're going to have guys that have some DMPs, and there might be nights where you could lean more into Jarred Vanderbilt. There's going to be nights where, guys are going to get DMPs. There's going to be nights where guys get 20 minutes. It's how it works. It's the ebbs and flows, especially with the team. The Lakers are actually deep this season, right? Lakers actually have, outside of your main 4 guys, you have another 5 or 6 guys you can make an argument for in the starting unit, right? That's why I'm really excited for our bench, all of these things, right? So I think the Lakers are in a really good place for that. But with Jarred Vanderbilt in particular, I think 1, there's an argument again for him to be a starter. 2, I think he's a guy that you need. You look at that Utah game, Keontae George was killing the Lakers, killing us. That was a great moment where I'm watching the game and I'm like, can we get Vando in this? Even if he torches Vando, at least you threw him on it just to see if you can slow him down, right? That was a great moment to inject Jarred Vanderbilt and get him in the action, get him involved, try to slow down Keontae George while this game was starting to get out of hand. And if you're not going to inject Jarred Vanderbilt in a moment like that, when are you going to play Jarred Vanderbilt? Right? I get Jarred Vanderbilt offensively, concern, liability, stuff like that. I get all that. Right? but he impacts the game in so many ways, from his rebounding and his hustle and his grit and getting you second chance points and all these things. Like, he's so valuable for a guy that does so much in limited little pockets, right? Like, so many people I see, hey, you can't play Jarred Vanderbilt more than like 15 minutes. Whatever. That's fine. You don't have to. Right? Like, you can play him in these little pockets, in these little moments, but you have to play him, right? Like, I think JJ will kind of play guys over the course of the season regardless. And Vando will have his moments and things like that. Guy get a night off or whatever. But like, in the overall rotation, I don't want to like overreact to game one, essentially, right? Like, you just got everyone back. You're trying to, experiment with some stuff. You're trying some trial and error. You're trying to see different lineups and units and stuff, right? Like, I could see, Jarred Vanderbilt maybe gets 20 minutes next game against Utah. And then, maybe whatever, Gabe Vincent's the guy that sits that game, right? Like, or he only gets a couple, maybe he only gets 10 minutes or something like that. And you're going heavily into Jarred Vanderbilt just to get a different look or whatever. Like, if it's something like that, then fine. Right? Looking back, it's like, hey, it all worked out. They played Jarred Vanderbilt. But to me, if it's not, and like, you're like, hey, Jarred Vanderbilt's kind of falling to the wayside. LeBron's going to get his 30, 35 minutes at the 4. So now you got to play more Rui at the 3. And then you got to play Marcus Smart and Jake LaRavia and all these guys, right? Like, so it's just like, hey, we got like 3 guys that are just above Jarred Vanderbilt, on the call sheet, so to speak. Right? We have 3 guys that we just would prefer to get more minutes for, which, again, that's fair. Like, if you want to make the argument, Rui, again, I don't really like Rui at the 3. I would prefer Vando at the 3 just for the defense, especially LeBron James at the 4. But nonetheless, okay, if you're like, hey, Rui, Marcus Smart, sure, he's not as big as Vando, but he just is experienced, makes the winning plays the defense. He's a guy that, yes, I would play him too. He's better offensively, all of that. And then, Jake LaRavia, I mean, he's been probably our best two-way player all season. Right? So it's like, if that's the case, and those are the 3 guys you're getting off of, or, are ahead of, and then, maybe Rui you get off of, but if you get off of Rui, you're probably bringing in that starting level 3. Right? Like, you're probably not trading Rui just to trade him. You're probably not trading Rui for a center or something. You're probably trading Rui to go get, an Andrew Wiggins or something like that, whomever, right? Like, if you're trading Rui, you're trading because you're looking at him as your starting 3, then you're not going to trade him to not have a starting 3. You're going to trade him to bring in that upgrade at the starting 3, a better two-way guy. So then, again, that means Jarred Vanderbilt still behind the call sheet and behind the pecking order, right? So, to me, I think it boils down to, assuming this is the case, again, I don't want to overreact too much to one game, but I do think it's worth discussing. I do think it's worth kind of, I talked about, the Jarred Vanderbilt situation. Do they look to trade Vando at some point? Whatever, right? Did a whole video about that. And then now you look at this game and it's like Vando doesn't even play. I mean, he didn't even play in garbage time, right? Like, you didn't play Vando at all, right? So, to me, if it's something where, hey, we're not going to have, more often than not, he's going to be doing DMPs. We'll try to find spot minutes here and there, or he'll be the guy that steps up if somebody's out or whatever. I just think you need to trade him, right? If he was on a vet minimum deal, we'd have a different conversation. Maybe it's like, hey, you still keep him because he's valuable in that, it's your 11th, 12th guy, whatever, right? But he's not making like $10.5 million or whatever. Right? Like, so to me, I think that's a guy you have to trade, you have to get off of if that's the case. Right? Because he's a piece that you can now use to package to now go make that trade and make that move. Right? Now you can go get him a T Stiebel or something like that, whatever. Right? Like, and I think that there are a lot of teams that would value Jarred Vanderbilt. Right? Because if he's healthy, again, is still one of the best perimeter defenders in all of basketball. He's athletic, excellent rebounder, excellent offensive rebounder. He does the dirty work, makes the hustle plays, gets you second chance opportunities. I think there's teams that would sign up for the Jarred Vanderbilt experience, right? And I think that there's a lot of teams that have the things to complement having Jarred Vanderbilt out on the floor. Right? I think that there are some contending teams that would be like, man, hey, Jarred Vanderbilt makes a lot of sense for us, right? Or some, kind of on the rise teams that are like, hey, Jarred Vanderbilt makes some sense for us. So I do think that there is a path to trading Vando if you need it. Obviously, you'd probably have to it'd be more of a package because it's just hard to find that guy at like 10 million. Like even like a Matisse Thybulle, right? Like say you like him for better two-way or whatever, right? Like even Matisse Thybulle is $1 million more, right? So, him and Gabe Vincent swap evenly. They both have the same contract. Vando's like $1 million cheaper, which Lakers don't have that really, in the cap space. That's basically it. Now you can't fill in your 15th guy. So like Lakers are going to have to figure some stuff out. So it'd probably be like a Vando, Kleba, maybe doing Gabe Vincent, right? To me, I think in no particular order, right, we all kind of have our pecking list, but I think Rui, Maxi Kleba, Gabe Vincent, Dalton Connect, and then maybe Jarred Vanderbilt are probably on that list of players that in some configuration you're looking to trade to go bring in, kind of a higher end guy, a higher tier guy, whatever. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.